everyone, welcome back. It's Mo, aka Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today I'm here with something quite interesting that I have never tried before. So this is Alfred Giraud, which is a French whiskey. This is a French malt whiskey, and it's their exploratory range called the Voyage. Voyage. I don't know if it's supposed to be in French or in English, so it's going to be a bit of a confused conversation about some of the things. It is a double malt, so it's two single malts blended together. It is a triple wood, a double marriage. It says a 48% ABV. It's natural colour, non-chill filtered. And yeah, it has been matured in, so one single malt's been matured in Sauterne casks, and one of them has been matured in French Robinia wood casks. So that's a type of wood I have never seen it used before in whiskey making, but apparently it's quite powerful. It's going to be interesting to try. And I believe that then has been finished in cognac casks. And retails around €149 on their website. And I'd never heard of them before. I got to try this, which again is Nicola, who had a bottle who I got to borrow, so thank you, Nicola. And they share their distillery with another family, and they've been making cognac since I believe the mid-1800s. The distillery, the Alfred Giraud, is named after a man who was a cellar master working in cooperage for the cognac industry, and he then went into one of the world wars and became captured, basically. He was like a prisoner for a long time before he got out, and then returned to be a cellar master, and then he passed that on to his son, so they named this company in honour of him. And yeah, I'm excited to try it, both because interesting cask combination. I've never tried anything from them before. It says on their website that they use different whiskies from all the country to kind of blend together as well. So yeah, interesting. And to be a single malt whiskey in France, you also have to use barley, but I believe they also allow other grains like rye, wheat, buckwheat, corn, for example. So yeah, it's quite an interesting country whiskey-wise. So let's start by having a look on the nose. It's quite a full character on the nose. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm actually getting. There's something sweet, yet woody and musky, but also almost like reminds me of beer. There's something that reminds me of fresh wood, something that reminds me of like grains, and something sweet. It's almost like an intersex perfume. Like it has a bit of that almost like sandalwood, musky earthiness in a way, but also something sweeter and floral. Interesting. Some sort of fruitiness there as well. When I find a whiskey like this, which I'm struggling to pick out exact things straight away, I almost immediately go through, like I have like a little list of things that I go through and tick it off. So like, is it this? Yes. Is it this? No. Is it that? And then also go through that in like a malt whiskey context, but also sauternes and wood and cognac, for example. But yeah, interesting. Let's see if the nose changes when we've had a sip. Sláinte or Sláinte. Interesting. It was very unique on the palate. I also forgot to say, the distillery where Alfred Giraud is housed is the Distillery du Saint-Pelé, in case anyone was interested in that. First approach, it was like floral, fruity, and then suddenly smoky, which I thought is quite fascinating. We're going to have a second sip and see if that's actually something we picked up or something that our brain is just like a bit chaotic about. It's a lot of things going on. Is that smoke? Or am I just completely wrong? Maybe it's the powerful notes of the wood. But there's something that it reminds me of smoke, but not on the first approach. It just kind of kicks in halfway through. Quite woody, but in a really nice way. Like it's an interesting wood that feels old and fresh at the same time. A bit cinnamony. Still a bit sweet, but not overly sweet. There's like a touch of it. I'd say this feels quite complex to me on first approach. Like it feels like there's lots of layers in there, but I'm also struggling to tell them apart, which I think is a good sign, because then it doesn't feel so separated. Everything feels like it's all entwined. And that is often a sign for me that would be a whiskey that I would score quite highly if I was judging it in a competition. A lot of you already know that I don't really score things here on my channel because I feel like it'd be hard to separate judging for a spirit competition where you're judging basically complexity and balance of flavours rather than the whiskies I like, because I might like a really smoky one, but then do I score it lower because the smoke doesn't balance out other things even though I like it, or do I score it higher because I like it, but that doesn't mean you see why I get confused. That's why I don't do it. But it's an interesting aspect of it. First approach is sweet, and then floral and woody. Doesn't feel so smoky now, so I wonder if it is the alcohol. I'm going to add a little bit of water, see if I can do this smoothly, because I have lost my pipette again. But I think that was a pass on adding water. It became a little bit more grain heavy on the nose, like more like a barley field, or a little bit grassier. Yeah, like dry grain. And I know a lot of people might think I say green, the colour, but it's grain as in G-R-A-I-N, grain. Holds up with water really well. Oh, but what is that? At the end of it, something really spiky. Yeah, the alcohol and the finish, or like so if you taste it and the flavor is like flavor and then it dies down, here when it starts going down, it's not really spiky. But I don't know if that was just on that sip, so we'll try it again. Not so spiky this time. A little bit, like a little prickly. Still a nice balance. The water did its thing, diluted, but also stretched things, if that makes sense. Like it stretched the flavours and characters out, so you had a little bit more of a longer journey. Before it was quite like, here's the flavour, and then kind of disappeared quite quickly and you're left with the finish. But with the water, it stretched it a little bit longer, so you have more time to kind of process it, if that makes sense. Really interesting whiskey though. Quite floral, I would say now. That is probably the main character I'm picking up. But it's, to me, just feels overall like a nice perfume, like a unisex perfume. Which is interesting. I don't think I've ever described a whiskey in that way. I've described it as a perfume, definitely. But I'm like a unisex perfume. I would absolutely love to hear if you have tried Alfred Giraud. If I'm pronouncing that right, please tell me that as well. Or if you've tried another French whiskey you think I should try. I think the only ones I've tried so far are this one, Bren. I know I've tried like some of the Michel Couvreur, I think they're called. But I can't remember which one, and it was ages ago. I would love to try some of the Alpine whiskies from France as well. But let me know your recommendations in the comments here below. I have also put in the little section here below links to my affiliate links if you want to support the channel that way, to Master Malt Whisky Exchange and the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, or links to my blog and my Instagram if you're curious to check me out there. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please feel free to leave a thumbs up if you have liked it, or subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next video. Sláinte Skål.